Welcome back to Bear to Bull. Today we'll be looking at Bitcoin and some things going on in the market from last week, or yeah, pretty much last week. It's Sunday today, so let's cover up what happened through the week and wrap it up. So we've coming out of this bottomed out lower low that we had back in July, and then we've moved up and then started coming back down. If you guys would have followed me, you guys would have seen that this was a bearish divergence type of price action as the RSI was moving down as price kept moving up. So we did have a correction to, oops, give me 1 second. So we were about 52K, dropped down to about 39K for a 23% move, 24% move. Since then, we've held this support line, as you can see. Let me actually go on the 4 hour. And we've held the support line that we keep kind of like bouncing off of. So each close has been higher than the previous one. Though it's been around the same area, I think it will either hold. I don't think we'll keep moving at this pace for the rest of the year. Or it'll break. We'll come back down to around the 38K level, 36 to 38K, I would say. We might have a wick down. And then from there, kind of just shake everybody out and then reverse. So we're going to have to see how things play out. But overall, for the market, I'm still bullish. The only reason I'm covering Bitcoin today is because Bitcoin pretty much affects the rest of the market. The S&P should be fine. They're thinking of injecting more liquidity if necessary, and then they want to raise the debt ceiling. So, I mean, that's more money that's going to be printed out, which what happens to your dollars? It gets devalued. So, learn how economics works, learn how money works, and then you'll be better off. Trust me. Stuff that they don't teach you in school are some of the most important things that you can learn. So let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. So El Salvador is actively using Bitcoin. This is El Salvador's president. Actually, I was on a call with him on Twitter, like on a group call. I think it was like 300 people when he was announcing the bill that they were gonna write up. So it was really cool. I recommend you guys get a Twitter. If you guys don't, you guys get news from like direct world leaders, CEOs, presidents, vice presidents, technology officers. So I definitely recommend the Twitter. He said there's 2.1 Salvadorians that are actively using the Bitcoin wallet. It's not a bank, but in less than 3 weeks, it has now more users than the Bank of El Salvador. And it's moving at a fast pace than the banks in El Salvador combined. So it's pretty crazy where we have these third world countries that don't have people registered with banks, or the banks don't offer it to a certain gender in other parts of the world. And Bitcoin and crypto kind of eliminate that barrier. Sometimes the bank's just too far. It is not set up at a more rural area. And they have phones. They have, as long as you have a phone, you can transact peer to peer. You can send pretty much data, whether it's money, whether it's crypto, whether it's NFTs or images. There's a lot of different functions for the crypto space which people aren't aware of yet. So maybe in the future, people will become more of aware and understanding of the technology behind blockchain. But that's still probably a few years away. We are still super early, in my humble opinion. So else did we have? We had that China ban. China's banning Bitcoin. It's not the first time we've heard it. Supposedly this time is different because they're actually made it illegal. But from what I've also read, there's been other articles that have said that the reporting was actually inaccurate. What they were just repeating was what was previously stated back in September 2017, that they're banning it and not allowing it. So something else that I noticed is that the hash rate seems to be about the same, which means the miners are still mining and doing their thing. We'll see how that plays out. But from previous data, you can see that Bitcoin has always moved up percentage-wise over time. So if you would have sold at the Band-Aid back in 2013, BTC price was at 1,000. Then back in 2017, it was at 4,000. Back in 18. So as you can tell, there's a pattern, and there's been moves since that time. So if you would have just held it, you would have been up about 3,600%. So that's a big move back in 2013. So about 8 years ago. So about 8 years ago. Um, you're never going to get these returns in the stock market. So good luck. And as you guys are also aware, if you guys follow me on Twitter, that they launched the Lightning Network for Twitter with Strike. So Strike now allows you to send Bitcoin or Satoshis to people that you follow. So this is really huge because, like I said, there's world leaders on here. There's very intelligent people who can give you and share a lot of information for free on Twitter. It's a massive way to get ahead of everybody else who is not, one, tech friendly, two, wants to like manage their money, finances, investments better. It is very different from getting things that the news says, because when the news sends it out to you, it's already been filtered through so many people, and if those people like have friends, then they can actually get into opportunities before anyone else does. So once they're in those opportunities or investments, let's say for stocks, then other people, the average person, the public, gets the information and then goes to buy that stock. And by then, it's already, I'm not going to say it's too late, but it's not at the best time. It's not, you could have got in before. And then on top of that, once you get the news, you also have third parties like Robinhood or other types of applications or brokers who actually sell out your data so you can get those free trades, but in exchange they get that order flow, so they see what you're buying and what you're selling. And like I said before, was a big thing with AMC and GME, and I don't know if it'll continue, but from my understanding, it's illegal in Europe. It's not illegal here, so that kind of might tell you something. So there's a lot of room for improvement in our system, and I think Bitcoin and crypto are one of the few things that are going to make it better. We'll see how things turn out, but as of right now, I'm still bullish. I give it about another week and a half, and then we should have a turnaround, in my opinion. It is also possible that we may come down to 32, which I personally do not believe that will happen, but it is a possibility. And the reason I say that is because there's a small CME gap, which is another like largely investor traded fund for Bitcoin. And if you guys believe like everything is based off of the straight and narrow, like there's no market manipulation, and you and I have like different opinions, because I believe like markets are all manipulated: gold, silver, stock market, crypto to some extent. And I've realized that for me personally, it's easier to accept that and understand like certain movements, because it just makes sense. Like this China ban, like this happened several times. Does that seem normal? Like there was a Reddit user that says like once you ban it once and it's not banned, you just admitted that you can't ban it. So it's pretty funny. But anyway, always do your own research. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Later.